Hi guys, this is your direction video for today's assignment. So the first few questions ask us about explicit and implicit costs. So I just want to remind us of what those are. So explicit costs are going to be the costs of making the decision, of doing what you choose to do. So these are what we think of normally as the actual cost, all right, of doing something. Implicit cost is going to be what you're giving up. By making the next best decision. Taken together, these two types of costs are going to give us a total of our opportunity cost. So the first problem is you classifying them based on Mr. Donahue's changing lifestyle. So he's going from working as a teacher to owning his own bakery. So you have to think about what's he giving up and what are the costs that he's spending to start up this bakery. So giving up, once again, is implicit, and actual costs of making the decision are explicit. Once you've got that, you're going to write down the different values in this table to get a total explicit and a total implicit. And once you have that, your total opportunity cost is going to be equal to that those two totals added together. So total explicit plus total implicit. Next up, we're looking at marginal cost, marginal benefit, and profit. So this is the decision Mr. Johnny's making while he's deciding how many croissants to make. So marginal benefit refers to the added benefit of the next or each good. Marginal cost refers to the cost of each good, and additional profit refers to the difference between those two. So how much more profit are we making from making that additional item? So when we go from 0 to 1 dozen, our marginal benefit is 70 minus 0, or 70. So I just did the difference between these two numbers. So for the next one, you'll do the difference between 135 and 70 to get the next marginal benefit. Marginal cost is the same idea, except you're doing it with the cost figures. So I do it with those two. And then my additional profit is going to be the difference of marginal benefit and marginal cost, so 70 minus 20, or 50. So you're going to finish completing this table, all right? Where my additional profit switches from positive to negative, so where it switches from positive to negative is going to be how much I decide to make. So the last quantity where our added profit is positive or equal to 0, all right, will be the amount we produce. We don't want to be losing money, so having negative additional profit. So when that occurs, we're all set. We don't need to make that many. So that's how we explain our decision in B. For our total benefit and total cost, we are going to be taking our values from the table above. So the total benefit and total cost was 70 and 20. And then we do their difference to get our total profit. All right, and the same thing for each of the following values. The next one would be 135 and 45, and you just keep going down. Same concept here. We're looking at explicit or implicit cost for Jack's decision to start an excavation business. So if we're, these are supplies for excavating, in case you have no idea what these are. Right. So you're going to be looking at this stuff and classifying it as explicit or implicit. So is it something that is the actual cost of doing the decision he's making, or something that he's given up, right? And then lastly, we have our types of rational decision making. So this is how do people make decisions that aren't necessarily in their best interest, but do so predictably. So we have 5 options that I'm just going to list for you on the side here. We've got misperceptions about opportunity cost. And that opportunity cost one, that means we don't understand the like the cost or the amount that it's going to cost, that it takes to make that decision. So we're like over or underestimating how much something costs. We could be overconfident, which means we believe we're right despite the evidence. We can have unrealistic expectations of the future. So that would be like you're talking about next week, and you say you're going to go to the gym every day, and you expect that you're going to do that even though you haven't been to the gym in a year. All right, so that might be an unrealistic expectation. Then we have counting dollars unequally. This has to do with types of money, which sounds weird when I say that. But that would be like I'm treating my the money I'm spending at a store with a gift card different than if I was buying it with my debit card, or I'm spending more when I use my credit card than when I use my checking account, right? So it depends on what type of money you're spending. Loss averse means that you don't want to have a loss or admit that you'll have a loss. So you continue with a poor decision. And then we have status quo bias. And that just refers to wanting to keep things the same. So we've got 5 options. I'm sorry, 6 options. And I should talk about status quo bias a little bit more. So that's like you get a sink full of dirty dishes, and you know you should clean them, but you just keep walking into the house and it's just the same. So you just keep ignoring it. It's like our tendency to just let things be as they are. So you're going to read through these problems and try to identify which one is which. Have a great day, folks.